Okay, so I just wanted to check if the audio is working. That's good. Okay, so I have a list of tickers. I'm a couple minutes early, but I will just start going through the list because I don't know if all those people are coming today. They just sent them in advance, so I will start. They can always watch this back. Let me just turn down my audio. There we go. Okay, so let me know if you guys can hear me. By the way, just type in the chat when you get a sec. Okay, so we're in the power hour. Let's look and see how we're doing right now on SPY. I'm just going to check while I wait 1 minute. So it looks like we pulled back, we filled that gap, and there's that SMA 100. Let's see if we can get some support from that after today. It's natural to see a couple days of green and then a couple days of red. So the chart's looking pretty healthy right now if we can keep this up. Okay, I'm going to move over and just start working my way down the list. Okay, perfect. You can hear me. Awesome. ANY. So I've got these all prepared. So I have a whole bunch of things on the chart here, little notes to remind myself. Okay, so this is one of those tickers that was really came out really strong and has just been beat up over the years. I mean, it's got history. It's from back in 2013. And it's just been beat up. Then we went through a reverse split here, which was 1 to 25. So yeah, definitely looked like the company was having some issues. But seems like we're starting to see some recovery happening here after all these years. And we're starting to move into a healthier uptrend. Normally when you're over this SMA 100, that means that the chart's in a healthy uptrend. But this SMA 100 is measuring all of this history. So we're going to have to take it with a grain of salt a little bit at this point, but we're in kind of a crazy uptrend here, getting a lot of recovery. If we look back here from May till now, 800% was how much the stock has gone up. But when you look at the history and how much it actually went down, that's really not that odd. But when you have something like this happen, you're going to get some pullback. So this is what we're seeing here. We see a big move and then we see big pullback. Yesterday we had a big move as well. Yesterday was like 18% day. So today what we have here is a daily inside bar. We're within the range of yesterday. That's what a daily inside bar is. Oh, I was about to draw it again and I already have it here. So I drew the fibs on this and we're pulling back today. We pulled back 15% already. We haven't hit the level which the fibs would pull us back to. 679 is a level that we can watch for some support because you can see here it was previous daily support and it's also lining up with the fibs level and this EMA 12. And then if that, yeah, so EMA 12. So that's what it is with technical analysis. You want things to all line up together. If you see 3 different things that are lining up, then that's going to be, okay, we're going to watch that area. So this area is looking pretty good here for a pullback 679. So I'm going to keep an eye on this and see what happens with that level because this is just a daily inside bar. It's not a big deal. We're going to pull back like this, and then tomorrow we could go in either direction. That's what the daily inside bar means. So we'll watch the range of today, tomorrow. I'm going to move on now here to BCTX, and I lined these two up together because they're similar type charts. Although this one just IPO'd and just fell to the ground. Then it had a reverse split, 4 to 13, and it's been pulling back all this whole time. So yeah, we're over that SMA 100, but again, it's measuring this heavy duty downslide history. So, but it looks like we're in a nice uptrend trying to recover here. And we had some big movements there. I charted this morning and I was watching this level, 691. And then we broke bull off that. So I think the person who asked me to chart this was before we were up 15%. So clearly we've broken bull from this falling wedge. And let's just look at a level here. So the level we've hit so far is nothing there. So we could continue on at this point. We've pulled back enough. We're moving our way back up here. So healthy uptrend here. I predicted that we might bounce right off this SMA 50, and it looks like we did. And now we're going to see if we can continue up for a few days. So, hiya. So, okay, Facebook. So this is the one I charted this one last week, and we were pulling back. We were starting to pull back, and then the day I charted it was right around here, and this is the exact chart the way I left it, except for I added a little bit. But the fibs and this 317 level was where I said that we would most likely pull back to, because I saw the pullback on the fibs plus this weekly support plus this SMA 200, and we pulled back like right to that level. So we could be bouncing here. We're looking at the high of the day right now, and if we're closing here, we're closing on this bullish hammer. This is known to be a reversal hammer candlestick. So after you see many, many days of red, and then you close on a reversal hammer, especially when it's bouncing off the SMA 200. This could be a classic sign of a reversal incoming. So if you're in this position, you should be starting to look better if we're closing on this candlestick, unless we have some unforeseen news on Facebook, because this is, a lot of controversy around this whole move. And so, yeah, the other level I have here, 334.50, is even though we're bouncing, we haven't cleared any levels. It's still in a downtrend. So the first thing we want to do is get over this 334.50 level, because that's some decent daily resistance. Then once we get over that, we want to get over this SMA 200 area, which would give us a daily trend change back to putting us in an uptrend. So until we get over this SMA 100 area, we are still in a daily downtrend. So just remember that if you're entering any positions, they're short term. You always have to watch the resistance, because then we can just head right back down, because we're not in an uptrend yet. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you're learning. I was recording videos, and oh God, I look yellow again. I don't know why I look so yellow. Let me adjust this. I do not understand why I'm yellow. I'm not trying to look yellow. Anyway, I was recording the videos, and I find just doing these live is much easier, because I don't have to, render them, edit them, and all that stuff. So that's why I've been doing this lately. Okay, so let's move over to BNGO. I think someone asked me to chart this morning before we had this 5% move, but still, I've been watching this falling wedge, this humongous falling wedge this whole time. We broke out of it a little bit, but we didn't get over this 557 level, which is the level that I'm watching. We need to clear that and start making our way over this SMA 100 so that we can move into an uptrend. And I have this little note, because when I looked at it just before the call, I was seeing this 5-minute head and shoulders, but looks like we broke out of that, and now we have a 5-minute inverse head and shoulders. So the bears tried to take this down and the bulls fought back. So let's see if the bulls can get us over 557. But I have position here. I've been scaling in here because it's been holding this area so tight. It's been just getting so tight, and I feel like a breakout has to come here soon. So I'm watching that, and I want to see this level break soon. Oh, hi, Ben. For everybody who's here, he's really not my son, but he likes to call me that. How you doing, Ben? Haven't seen him in a while. Okay, so NOK. I haven't looked at this chart in a long time. We've definitely got some recovery here from the last time I looked. I think it was way back here. Holy, we've been spiking. We made it over this SMA 100. So Nokia is starting to recover. And, I think they went pretty far and pulled back pretty hard. So here we are hovering around this SMA 100. It's looking like we're in this channel. It's looking a little bull flaggy too. Like if I move to a smaller time frame, we could probably chart like a flag looking pattern inside here. So, but it's a small time frame. So I like to look at the larger time frames so that we can see what's happening. So I'm watching this channel here. If we're going to break off the bottom of this channel and head back up to the top of the channel. And it was getting close to looking like a wedge, but nope, so far still looking like a channel, looking like we're heading up. And we're going to get some resistance from this SMA 50. So let's try and clear that for the bulls. You also have a daily double top right there, 585, to try and clear. SIRI, Sirius XM. Okay, so my note. Oh yeah, so I found this trend line that we've been following. It's a good trend line because you can see how we got over it. Right around here, it kind of hadn't been formed. I think it started forming here. And then we just kept getting some support off this area. We dipped through it, and then we keep going. So we have this trend line to watch because we're below all the SMAs and the EMA levels. So let's watch this trend line to see if we can get over this trend line and then try and get over this SMA 100 and work our way back into a daily uptrend. But what we have here is bounce off the trend line and then a rejection on this SMA 100. So then we head back down again. But here we go, maybe trying to retest that SMA 100 again. So SIRI's trying really hard to get into an uptrend. So we'll give it another chance because it looks like that's what's going to happen here. Since today we're having some green, it looks like we may be closing near the high of the day. A strong close is really good for tomorrow's outcome as well. I'm not yellow anymore. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know why that happens. Okay, so SOFI. Off to the races. That's what my note says. Because we just cleared the SMA 100 on this one. This is a young chart. Look at this. It's only like a year, almost a year old, not even a year old of history to use. So the SMA 100, it's not even that long, but we cleared it. And we just keep going and we're off to the races. Look at this. We're testing $19 right now. I charted it this morning. We weren't anywhere near that level. So it's had a pretty good day. We're in an uptrend. It's just bounced off the EMA 12 here. Worked our way over the other SMAs and we're in an uptrend here. So this is the resistance that I would see that we're going to find on the way up, 1958. That's the strongest resistance I can find. So if you're in this position, that's what you can be looking out for. I thought you were in Market Gamers already. AFRM. This is another chart that doesn't have a lot of history. It's from January of this year. This just looks like we broke off a big cup and handle here. So when it IPO'd, it went up, fired back down, huge move back up. So kind of like people didn't know where to take this price. And so we just bounced off the all-time high. And that was a pretty big move to get there. So that was like a 34% move to get to that all-time high in like just a few days. So that's why I ran fibs on this move, because when we have a big move, we usually see a pullback retracement before we continue back up again, especially since we're rejecting that all-time high there. So I want to see how far we're going to pull back off that rejection. And the first level we would look at would be the 61.8 level, because in a healthy uptrend, that's where you can generally pull back to, but this is a big move. So if big moves like this, I find that we often pull back to 23.6 level, which is down here, 117. It's not saying that this is going to happen immediately. It could happen in a few days. But 117, and it lines up with the fibs 23.6 area. We could also not go that far, and we could go somewhere around this 38.2 area. So if the 61.8 area holds, then we could be fine. Or I really feel like we need to come down to this though, because you can see over here after we have big moves, we come down to this EMA. Let me turn all this stuff off for a second. We come down and test this EMA 26. We bounce off of it. So big move, we come all the way back down over a few days, bounce off the EMA 26, and then have another big move. So we could continue like this and then just come down, bounce off that EMA 26 before we spring through that all-time high. So those are the levels to watch here. There they are for you again. Okay, BABA. So BABA, we've been watching BABA just pull back for days and weeks on end. There's the chart. Just massive pullbacks. Okay, so we finally found some weekly support. The level that we have here at the bottom is actually a weekly level, 138.43, that we've used for support before. So that is a good sign. And then we broke wildfire off that level. Everybody was talking about it. Lots of people were going to play it. So of course, after a move like that, you're going to have profit taking. So we went up 22% over the last few days, starting to pull back a little bit. So here are the levels that I found that we can watch for this retracement. 158.03. That's a support level right here. You can see that also lines up with the 61.8 level. I like that level because it also lines up with that EMA 26 area. And this has been so many days of pulling back here that we should go to only 61.8. This isn't really a big move compared to how much we've pulled back hard from the top. But remember, until we get over that SMA 100, which this is a level 188.28, we're still in a downtrend. So a daily downtrend. So we're just going to keep moving along like this until we can get over that level, and then our moves are going to be more reliable. We won't pull back as hard once we're in that daily downtrend, or sorry, daily uptrend. Okay, SENS. I'm going to take away all my drawings for a second. The history on this one is not bad. We have like 5 years. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm just counting the waves because we're in the correction wave. A, B, C. Okay, so, and the C wave has just come down to touch the SMA 100 here. So we need to hold this SMA 100 because we're retracing some of the moves that we've had up. So let's hold. We need to hold. Bulls want to hold that SMA 100, and if they don't, then here are the levels that I see that we can look for. This one, 285, looks really good because it lines up with the SMA 200, the FIBS 38.2 level, and then also a trend line, which we've just bounced off of. We bounced off of here, we bounced off of here, and we could come back down to it here. So there's quite a bit lining up here. SMA 200, the trend line, and then the FIBS 3.8 level. So look around that 285, 275 area for the first level if we break this SMA 100. And then after that, I would look down here. And the reason why this level I highlighted is because of the FIBS 0.236 level, but also there's a huge gap right here on the chart. And that gap, it lines up with that FIBS level, like exactly 232. So those are the two levels that I'll be watching if we break this SMA 100. How did I take away all the drawings at one time? Oh, you just press this button right here, the little I on the left. Okay, I'm glad you guys sorted that out. Okay, so somebody has asked me to look at HBAR. And I have to be honest, this chart's just crazy. So this is a crypto chart. I'm looking at it and it's definitely not used to what I'm seeing, like what I'm used to seeing, looking at the stock market tickers. Just look at the EMAs, how they can't even, normally they're curved. This one's just so jaggedy. They're so jaggedy because we've had these huge moves. So I have no idea what this is about. But this is the pattern that I can see. We were forming this big symmetrical triangle. We were forming that right around here. Then we, flew up real high. Then we came all the way back down into it. Then we flew up again. Then we came all the way back. Flew up again, came all the way back. So yeah, I don't even know how to chart this one. But so this is the only pattern that I could find. We're in this symmetrical triangle. So it's possible that we, form a couple of areas within here before we boom back up again. That's really the only thing that I can bring to this chart, because I have no idea what this is all about, but this is just crazy stuff. So, okay, I'm looking at some new tickers here. Hold on one second. I'm going to put these down. So MILE and MILE, XELA, and okay, thanks, Reese. Okay, MILE, this one is broke the trend line. This one's so oversold, it's ready to bounce. I've been scaling into this one slow. I started a little early, but that was right before this big move, and then I was out of town, so I missed my sell. But it was just a tiny position. Like, I start really slow, I scale in small, and then every one I add is bigger than the last one. Anyways, so I've just been holding it because we are oversold, and I'm thinking of adding to this position soon because daily, our RSI is 28. Weekly, we're almost oversold. Yeah, so until we establish some support here, and it looks like we might have some. The double bottom right here. Triple bottom, 313. So let's see if that area holds. I won't be adding anything until I see some strengths, and then I will be adding to bring my average down here and to try and get a big move, because we should have a big bounce. XELA, XELA, or just XELA. So these ones are new ones I haven't really had a chance to look at in advance. It looks like we are going into this gap fill area, which was what I was watching for. So now the gap could be judged by right here, 164, because we did trade up to that level here, or it could go all the way down to 151. 164 is today's bottom, and we have a few days here. So we'll see if we go right into this gap. I think it's, not quite oversold yet. Yep, another hurting chart. We're waiting for a big move off this one. Something like that big move. That would be nice. We want to see some bull volume coming back in. We see the last couple days with some green candles as opposed to all the red. Bear volume's fading. I think mile looks the same. Yep. Bear volume, and now today we have some bull volume. So these two are looking okay. RCON. Another hurting one, and it just keeps toying with everybody. Because we get these big, huge spikes. And then we come back down further. So that's just bears covering their positions, driving the price up, sucking in some bulls, and then pushing the price down further. So we broke through the support. Look, I was watching that support there, 240. We broke through it, but just slightly. Not oversold anymore. Just keeps slowly bleeding down. But here we have an 4-hour double bottom. Can watch that. These charts are, this one does have some history back here. I can look back here on the weekly. Let's see what kind of levels we have back here. We broke all those. Right here is a nice level of support, 207, which we're pretty close to. We bounced off that one really nice back here. These are weekly candles. But this one's been brought down with the whole China thing. So I think just we need some of this China controversy. Reese is back. You're back in RCON. Yeah, he hates that one. I don't know why he's back in there. I have to ask him that. Why did you buy it again? Okay, so let's look at ONE. This is another hurting one. I remember this one from a while ago. Look at this one, straight down. Straight down, but huge spike right here, and then continuing down. Another big spike right here, continuing down. 40 cents. Penny stock now. Weekly oversold. RSI is 27. Daily, not quite oversold. Wow, look at those 4-hour candles. 25 RSI is here. So we had some big drops on pre-market, it looks like. Again. It's weird. I'm not seeing the same thing on the daily. 42. It just when it's a penny stock, it looks so humongous. We only went down 2 pennies, but okay, so this one has a little bit of support, looks like building up here in this area. It's like a zone. I'm going to highlight both of them, but got a little zone here of support we can watch. I'm going to hold that bottom level there and just see. And another double bottom. Daily double bottom right there. And since it's weekly oversold, we could have a big move. But just like the other ones, we're not looking for this one to go back to the price where it was. We're just looking for a big move and then we get out because we're nowhere near an uptrend in this one. I have to turn, like we'd have to go all the way up to 86 cents to start moving this into an uptrend. Okay, so I have a couple minutes left. Somebody made 20. Okay, Ben. Did I do them all? Yeah, I think I did them all. If I missed any, I had them all on my list. If I missed any, just send me a DM or comment. I think you'll be able to comment on this once it gets saved, and I'll go back and I'll analyze it for you then. Oh, there we go. We got one more request. PROG. We had a nice couple days here. And I had actually charted this one before. So this looks similar to the other chart that we just left that was straight down. And look, this one's already starting to come back. So you can see how it's possible. And moved over that SMA 100. Since yesterday, we bounced off this EMA 12. Moved up 100%. Yeah, wow. So this isn't one I'd be buying right now just because of this huge move. We're probably going to have some retracement soon. I mean, we already have. We've pulled back from the high. I'm going to measure from this last move here. We pulled back to this 38.2 level. Big moves like this, we're probably going to get pulled back to that 1.69 level. Doesn't have to be right now. So I'm holding my snap down to try and see if I can find support right around that level. And there it is. And then I'm going over here. On the weekly, let's try that one. That looks like a better one. 175. Let's see if we can pull back, if we're going to pull back to the between these two numbers, 175 and 169. For an entry, if you want to enter, because I wouldn't enter now. I mean, unless it has huge momentum and you're just chasing for pennies at a time. We're getting some profit taking already, so. Okay, Ben, we'll talk about this outside of the live YouTube broadcast. Okay, guys, so yeah, so let me know if I missed any tickers, and I'll do them on Thursday, or I can do them in the Discord before that. Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of the day.